dollar in the element. I think my brakes feel kind of funky, and so I'm going to pull in a church parking lot up here and do a couple of tests real quick to see if I can figure out if there's something wrong. I think there is. So here's my test. I'm in this parking lot, which isn't exactly level. If I put this car into neutral, take my feet off the pedals, the car should roll, right? And it is. It's rolling a little bit, but I don't know. I think it should be rolling more than that. Let me see if I can push it. Open the door and just push with my foot. No, see, I should be able to push that easy. Let's pump the brake a few times. I shouldn't have to put that much effort into moving the car. So that makes me think my brakes are sticking, and I'm going to check that by feeling these wheels. All right, I can put my hand on there, so I don't think that one's a problem. They're warm, but they're not burning me. And if my calipers are sticking, which is what I suspect. Oh, okay, yeah, that is stuck. I cannot keep my fingers on that. Let's check this one. Yeah, same thing. Same thing. It's way too hot. I can't, if I was to grab that and hold it, I would burn the hell out of my hand. Okay, that's okay. See? So, my two driver's side wheels are okay. My passenger side wheels seem to have stuck calipers. So that's my very unscientific test. It's a hot day. I've been driving probably 50 miles today, and traffic has been start and stop city traffic. So you expect the wheels to be a little bit warm, but they shouldn't be so hot that I can't grab them. That's the classic sign of a stuck caliper, causing the pads to not fully disengage from the rotor, which is causing a lot of friction, a lot of heat. And heat actually makes your brakes function very poorly. Uh-oh, this road's pretty bad about having car crashes all over the place. You okay? Yeah. Okay, just
get a record to get that thing out of the road because we can't drive it.
Gotcha.
It's the bumper. We were going to turn here, and bless her heart, she started to pass.
Oops. Yeah.
On a double line, but she's a kid. If we got
Can we
kids,
push
we
it
all
backwards,
know.
or y'all just want to wait for a wrecker?
Yeah, if we can get one in here.
I hear
son.
you.
I
All
do
right.
appreciate it. I'm afraid somebody's going to come over that hill though and smack it.
Gotcha. Yeah?
Yeah, we can't
Be a
drive
different
it
story,
to get
wouldn't it?
out of the way. But we appreciate you stopping.
Well, all right. Y'all have a better day.
I hope so. It ain't Friday the 13th.
Can't get worse, can it?
Thank you, son.
It's good to have your brakes around here because you never know who's going to try and pass you on a double yellow line. Might need to stop. So let's get up close and personal with our rear brake here. These rotors look like ass, frankly. So I'll probably get some new ones here soon. But in the meantime, what we're gonna do is take these two bolts out and take this apart, clean up these slide pins, which are inside here. 12 millimeter. All the way out. See this white stuff? That is massive oxidation caused by the fact that we had a pretty good winter this year. They salted our roads, and I got salt all up in here, so I'm getting one of those northern problems, you know? Now, pull the caliper off. Now these are the actual pins. They're actually pretty well greased, but let's try it anyway. Get all the old crud off of it just in case there's some grit or something stuck in there. It really doesn't look bad. We'll put some new silicone-based grease on it and put it back. See, when we push that in, it pushes itself back out. That's pretty good. This one, not so much. Trying to pop these little boots off without tearing them up, because that's what keeps grit and crud out of your pins. That one does feel pretty crappy. It's actually got like flat spots worn on it. That's weird. I wonder if those flat spots are designed to like hold grease. We'll put a little extra on this one. See? Now it's popping in and out really nice. That may be the problem. Oh, God, I hope it is. We return our caliper to its original upright position. Put these bolts back in. Now to tighten these back up, we're going to grab the pin, which is a 17 millimeter. Let's go do that front wheel. Hi. So the front calipers on this and any car are much, much bigger than the rear. That's because most of your stopping power comes from your front brakes. And just like the rear, it should just slide out. All right, there's our caliper. Well, it's not moving at all. That bottom one kind of is, but the top one sucks. Why silicone grease and not some other kind of grease? Well, these little rubber boots are all that keep the dirt out of this thing. If you tear them up, you're going to have all kinds of crud inside here. Especially if you live up north where they salt the roads, you'll get salt in here and it'll bind up and your brakes will get hot. You won't be able to stop. It's going to be a disaster. Don't do that. Now, silicone grease is not petroleum based. And because it's not petroleum based, it will not degrade rubber and plastic parts. And petroleum based grease will. When you go to put petroleum based grease on something, it will always dissolve any kind of petroleum based products it's around. So rubber and plastic, which are petroleum based, are going to dissolve in the presence of grease, which is also petroleum based. So we're using silicone grease because silicone is not petroleum based. Our pads are great. They're nice and thick, but our rotors aren't bad either. Let's take the other one out. Interesting. Very different looking pin. It's got this, I guess that's another seal that goes in the other end of it. I don't know what that is. So far, I've removed 4 of these pins, and 3 of them look very different from each other. It also does not have a groove, so I think the lower ones don't have the grooves, and the upper ones do. Back in the hole it goes. Now, if you do this, and these little rubber boots are all tore up, go get you some new ones, because this repair isn't going to last very long if those are tore all to pieces. Put our caliper back on. On the fronts, we don't have the 17 millimeter nut flange that we have on the rears. So what you have on these pins is this little flat spot on the rear instead of that nut flange. What you're going to do is turn that until it lines up with that flat spot. It's going to go right in there. That's what keeps it from spinning. See? These are all 12 millimeter wrench that takes these apart. Okay, now let's get to those passenger side wheels, which I really expect will be the major problem here. Yeah. Let's do it again. 17 millimeter, 12 millimeter. Ooh, you okay? You good? Wiggle it a little bit. It should create enough gap for it to come off. See how much different that reacts? Let's put our caliper back on. There's a bunch of guys that like to pull their brake calipers off their Honda Element and replace them with brake calipers off of an Acura that are huge, and it requires a bunch of modification and weirdness. And I don't know, I've never had, even with these hot brakes, I've never had that much trouble getting my Honda Element to stop. I guess, though, if you're going to run great big oversized tires, that's probably a good mod to do. I have no interest in great big oversized tires. Three down, one to go. So there's some kind of problem going on here. Bolts out. Let's get the caliper off. I will say this, that caliper is stuck. Oh, God. Pull this pin out. Look at that. That top one moves a little bit. That bottom one is completely locked up. Oh, wow. Oh, geez. Okay, I can't get that out at all, so that's definitely part of our problem. These great big pliers from our toolkit episode. See if they'll get this loose. Wow. All right, let's take the top one out. Well, it doesn't look any worse than the other 6 we've done so far. Man, what are we gonna do with this bottom one? Look at that ugly bastard. That little end piece got sideways and stuck in there. I don't know if we're going to be able to use it or not, but we'll try. Let's clean it up, see what we got. This pin is pitted where it's had salt in it. Boy, I don't like this at all. Oil change day. More EGR delete day. And since we've already got this issue, I decided to go ahead and order the new pins for the front of the Honda Element, and let's just go ahead and put those in and be done with this crap. I just went ahead and ordered this kit from, who was it? AutoZone, and they delivered it for free overnight. That's kind of cool. And we're just gonna go ahead and get that worn out pin out of there, just be done with it. I'm tired of messing with it. 12 millimeter, 17 millimeter. Try to get you guys different camera angles every time I do this. Maybe that'll help you understand how your car works a little better. The kit that we've got comes with 2 pins and 2 bolts. It's the upper and lower pins, and there's those grooves we talked about before. They are on here, so those are like grease guides, or I don't know, something like that. It does not come with this little rubber fitting on the end, so hopefully mine's not destroyed. You remember last time it kind of pulled off when I took all this apart. Comes with 2 new bolts. We'll probably go ahead and use those, but I will save the old ones just in case. Caliper's a little stuck. Hang on it a little bit. There we go. That boot in there's wore out, so if this doesn't cure this problem, yuck. Probably gonna go ahead and get a new caliper. Set this up here so our caliper isn't hanging from the hose. There. Coming out much easier this time, but still looks like crap. Let's try and get that rubber fitting off. Comes off easy. Put it on our new pin. So here's the new one compared to the old one. I'm gonna get my grease and grease this up. All right, there's a little grease. Now let's run that back in there. Top one, it doesn't look all that bad, but I've got a new one, so let's put in a new one. There's our new one. There's our old one. We'll say this, the little flutes cut down the sides of these are not as long on the replacement as they were on the factory, so I am going to keep my factory one. I mean, I'm going to throw it in my toolbox just in case I decide that there's some sort of flaw with this. It ought to work though. Got good reviews on the website there. That's how the world works these days, right? All right. Greased up. Let's put her back. Yeah. Oh, our new bolts are a different size. I'm not going to use them. I don't like that. That sucks. All right, now I was going to use these new bolts to put that in, but they're a different size, so screw that. I'm going to go back with my originals. They're bolts. It's not like they're broke or anything. Just got to get my eyeballs in the right spot, and there she goes. All right, 12 millimeter. If I used those other bolts, they would have been 14 millimeters, which I don't want to mess with all that. The axle doesn't sound good, does it? Time for another test drive. Well, I gotta tell you, that was a big improvement on the brakes there on the Element, but it's still grabbing on that one wheel. I can tell because it's still warmer than the other three. So I'm gonna go ahead and get a caliper ready and go ahead and do some front calipers on the old Element. Till next time, this is Clint Searcy for Scavenger Type saying like and subscribe.